Welcome back, guys, to one of the most exotic and idyllic locations in a video game ever. The skies are bright, the sun is warm, the oceans are azure and perfect for swimming, and we find ourselves here in part 4 of the Shadowgate 64 playthrough with, I believe, a shoe of a drowned toddler in our bags. Today we're gonna do a little bit of pet cemetery nonsense and see whom the shoe fits. Now, before I proceed, I asked my editor, who's not really my editor, he just edits my words. Is this the Berlin Wall? Is this Shadowgate? And he said both. And I said I will include that for the record. I mean, you're the lore master of everything. I would hate to offend and get more angry notes sent my way. So here we're going to pass through Checkpoint Charlie. And we got a little dirty slip. Oh my god, I thought it was a loading screen. It's just blurred wall of concrete. See, this is not so bad. I actually somehow like this environment. Can I say once again, liminal, right? We have to include that word at least once per stream. Okay, so I think this is where the moat is, and it's not. So I'm gonna have to check my map by pressing random buttons until the map shows up. Right, the moat looks like it is located next to the little square that we just came from. Something I probably knew last time when I left off and have since erased from my Himbro brain cells. Alright. It doesn't help that it looks like it's sealed shut, but in this game, what can I say, the corridors just look very small, as we've just seen, and sometimes you think you're just facing a wall of concrete, but there's a little pathway. And this was indeed where we saw this thing over there. Stagnant, mossy water creates a kind of moat around the tower. Cozy, isn't it? Come on. Just a bit more contrast and saturation. That's all you need. This is the coziest game ever made. Maybe some higher res textures. A couple of skeletons need to be cleaned up, sure. Now the way we're gonna make the child appear is by ignoring this ring, because that will kill you. Unlike the Ring of the Dead, you can put it on just fine. And there she is, I assume. Oh my god, she's so wide. Such a wide pudding.
Oh, you found one of my slippers. Please, sir. Do you know where the other one is?
I can't go home until I have them both.
I miss him so much. I can't go home without my slippers.
I don't think Grandpa cares. How long have you been dead? Look! How long she's been dead for! It really doesn't matter anymore. Grandpa's dead too, by the way. Grandpa's also just a fucking ghost. Okay. So, I underestimated the mission. But, hold on. That's wrong. I had 2 slippers last time. This one is from you get from Grandpa. Let me fast forward for you guys a little bit. Alright, so apparently we did all that. And I just left the original slipper that I was supposed to match on the table over there. The first time I saw it, it was held down by a ghostly force. The ghostly force is from the grandfather, He'll ask me later on when I could actually put on that ring and see him. You know, it looks more like a toy car, by the way. To go find a granddaughter. And I believe the reason we're doing this is to find the Stone of Thirst in some way. And I think the grandfather has that. It's video game logic, okay? It's literally like one of these puzzle game logic things. Okay, Granddad is not here. Gramps is no longer here. Oh, wait a second. I'm not wearing the ring. That explains. Oh, wait. Is it now a pair of dirty slippers? No, it's just magically a pair of slippers. One of them is no longer dirty. I want to be jump scared by the grandfather because there's nothing really that indicates he's here. Yes! Oh god, that got me good. Halfling, that's quite a discovery. Aye, this belongs to Caitlin. Does it remind me of John Cleese? What? You found the slipper in the dump by the water channel? She must have fallen in somehow. My poor little Caitlin. Oh. Fish, 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 fish. Fish, fish, fish. And now you guys can see, in case you missed the previous hours of footage, how we got to the moat. From within one of the first locations in the game, actually. I assume you guys will be able to see it. Because, yes, we'll take the stairs and go out through the front door. That ring gets me good every time. It's the ultimate jump scare ring. It's good to live on the edge like that. Would you guys not like wear it? Ah, fuck this. No, it's just YouTube. Would you guys let me know in the comments if you guys would wear a Ring of the Dead to keep you on the edge of the seat and maybe give you an early heart attack so you will not have to get old and decrepit? Yeah, I feel like the banter doesn't work so well without a live audience sometimes. The funny part is usually there is no audience regardless. Right, we're almost there. Back to Miss Goody Flopshoes. Poor thing never had any possessions in her life. She holds on to this. Like, just how much did that grandfather make her beg for just a pair of shoes? And then she went off and skipped and hopped into the moat. And then she died on the stairs, which is... Really, it's not that deep. Now, don't let me demonstrate that, because the halfling will die.
Thank you so very much, kind sir. I can at least go home.
But the halfling really goes out of his way to die from everything. He will always tumble from rooftops with his head down. And if he enters like a shallow body of water, he will sit down till he drowns.
They're not as shiny and new as they were before, but at least I did not lose them.
But you actually did, because you're a loser! Just like you lost your life, you dirty harlot. You know what? That's inappropriate.
I will go home and tell Grandfather how you helped me.
Do that because Grandfather is sitting on some shit that I need? No more talking. No more talking. No more talking bones. Good. Back to Grandfather we go. Pardon the little time flip. I couldn't resist the beautiful weather and just taking it all in. I took off my socks and dipped my little halfling toesies in the fountain as I soaked up the sun rays and the beautiful sights. Just like I'm taking in these decadent, opulent hallways now. Oh, I'm gonna fuck it up again. Hold on. Hold on, this time we got a map that just tells me I'm in a tower! That's fucking fantastic. Also, I actually had a coffee and I did some squats Because, you know, I'm not a gamer, I'm not a nerd. Can't just sit still and play games. My ass is gonna hurt from that. This chair is wretched. Okay, one of these doors is one I came out of. And the other one is... I'm just gonna guess it's this one that I need. Because I remember coming out of the sewers and the door right next to it was the one. There we go. Was the one that is just useless. Anyway, here we got Gramps. We still got the ring. Every damn time. But no, actually I was scared of how she's sitting on his arm. Why is she so teensy? Thank you, halfling. You've done well in returning Caitlin to me. And how does she smell? Awful! Now ask of me what you will. I will do all that I can do to help you. Right? Give me the Staff of Ages so I can beat the shit out of Belzar. What, you want to know the way into the Tower of Trials? I can tell you the way lies below, in the depths of the Reservoir. Stone of Thirst! Give me that. Wait, do I know that because I read the guide or because it was said that I had to obtain it? Because the Warlock Ghost told me that. The purple one. The purple ghost told me that. The purple Teletubby ghost told me that next to the church. Dude, I'm sorry I sound insane. I've been talking to ghosts for a while now. There you'll find what you seek, a room that controls the water deep. Swim? Nay, halfling, that would be impossible. Unlike talking to fucking ghosts. I've something here for you. It's called the Stone of Thirst. It's truly a wonderful thing. If my chat had been here, they could have given me that too. If you know what I mean. It requires, however, a particular incantation. Words of power, if you wish. It's gonna be Fuzro fucking... They haven't blinked once. Bobbing, yes. Blinking, no. I do not know these words, nor is it written down in any book or manuscript. So what you're saying is, you just gave me a stone, and I'm supposed to make soup out of that like it's a Hungarian folktale, but you don't have any of the ingredients. Only those who have passed the trials know of such an incantation. Seek out someone who has passed the trials, halfling, and receive the words. Another fucking ghost. Surely neither life nor death shall hinder you. You have shown that already. Look at that. Little wombat poop! Gorgeous. Oh, the coffee's making me I'm glad it still works. I've been drinking it too often again. If I'm yelling at coffee, just telltale sign of an addict! We're gonna talk to more dead people. We're gonna talk to more Bruce Willises, alright? What's the most iconic movie that Bruce Willis was in where he talked with dead people? Death Becomes Her, that's right. Death Becomes Her. Not whatever fucking shit he was in! Alright. Let's see. Dead people. Let's use my nose. Or the map. You know what? That is one way to figure out where the dead are. I have to mostly go by the shapes, because it's not like I can select other rooms. I'm going by the shapes. The shapes tell me the park is on the other end. The little fountain on the top. And the cathedral that we spend a lot of time in front of because it's iconic and amazing. It's like basically the goddamn Notre Dame is probably on the other side of this. No. Yes. No. Okay, I don't know. No, it's also near the top. Okay, it's also to the left. Because we went out of that little window on the left and then we went past the graves. Guys, we need to go. I know where I need to go. There's no point in telling you, let me just drive, okay? No backseating! No backseating, please! It's giving me an anxiety attack. There are people that say that stuff, and I'm like, you know what? You know what? It's almost so over the top that is based again. Almost, not quite, unfortunately. I'm sorry, no. It's gonna crack my nails. I just did my nails. You cannot backseat. I'm an ass, so I'm sorry. I don't know when people use the word anxiety very lightly. I get anxious, people, and you have to respect that. Here's one of those weirdos. Still there with your crooked fucking face. A special incantation is necessary. The stone and the incantations are tied one to the other. Oh, you already told me! Domain Ra! Guys, you already knew that. I mean, the halfling should already know that. For him, it's not like 2 months have passed since I last played. I'm actually gonna check quickly what is the lapse of time here. Oh, right, here's this little corridor that we were confined to. You know what I really thought? That over there was the rest of the castle? It's the outside. There's nothing there. They fooled me. I might have been able to draw that conclusion if I had looked at the flat fucking backdrop trees that are probably not even complete sets. But in my mind there was a whole world out there, and I guess that world is Berlin. Right past there, there's the Bahnhof, and there goes Merkel. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is a dead end. Oh yeah, there were all these ghosties here. Have I already talked with all the ghosts here? I feel like I should do it again. And since I'm gonna do it again, you guys are gonna sit through this with me. I will not hear any complaints. You will hear me relive what I went through before. I did explore a little bit on my own, and I don't know what I recorded or not, so... Hell, I don't even know if I am dead or alive. It's truly like a Bruce Willis movie. Alright, I went back to 2 months ago. I did not talk to any of these wretches while you guys were watching. So it's all new. And it's new for me too, thanks to dementia. So let's go and talk to the spooks! My god, I cannot wait to hear what beautiful... It's actually more about the visual experience, I can tell. I'm a sorcerer. When I was young, I longed to be like the great sorcerer Lakmir. I remember training and learning with my fellow sorcerers day and night. Sorcerer, sorcerer, sorcerer. And one day I was abducted by a flying sorcerer. Then one day I was allowed to undertake the challenge of the Tower of Trials. And I fell on the left side of my face so hard that I never got up again, and that's the true story. It was a day I had prepared for my whole life. It did not, however, go as hoped. I failed miserably. I answered what I knew was right. Later, I discovered the truth. Someone had tampered with the trials. I do not know how. It's not me! It's Lakmir. Okay, so... This is important to know. This could fuck us over. How loud is that volume when I go this close? This is important. Pretty fucking damn far up. Okay. I will find whoever did this. Yes, I will find them. And make them pay. Right. That's ominous. So we could solve the puzzle and still die horribly or something? What's going on? Wait, do they all have the same face? Wait, does the granny have the same face as this? Hold on for a second. Shockingly, it seems like Jezebel, the grandma, has a unique model. But then again, she's a unique character. She's just not generic copy-pasted graveyard ghost number 12, okay? This is the real deal. She's an actual... She's got plot armor, even though she's dead. This is very important. She's got her own beautiful face. And that's designing for relevancy right there. Don't ask me why I kept this on file. I just find her pretty gilfy, you know. Who are ye who disturbs the sleep of one whose wounds do not heal? Who are ye who disturbs the sleep of one who fought the sorcerer of black magic? I speak of Belzar, of course, who rose in power. I read Rest in Power. After Lekmir faded from the land, my colleagues and I dared to fight him, to crush his ambition, but we were naive. I fill it up a bit, the space between sentences. It's good to have filler noises. As a streamer, you learn to do that. You just make little noises when you don't know what to say. We never knew that Belzar, who had bathed in the dark waters, possessed such power. You don't need a clause in every sentence. Someone tell this ghost that. You're never too old to learn proper grammar or proper stylistic choices, right? You don't need to include who did, who that, who such and so. Okay, flee from him, traveler, as the night flees from the morning sun. I think he died from a cold, okay? That's my interpretation of this character. And if he catches you, bow before him and hope that he has mercy on your soul. I will never bow down for a tyrant. Never. And kills you quickly. Wow. You felt like he ate with that, huh? He really is the it girly of this graveyard with his fancy clauses. Okay, what does this stone have to say? You cannot even begin to guess how old some of these stones are. It's all enough for the ghost to have blowing away on the wind that you keep constantly hearing in the background. Okay, that's less for me to read out loud. I consider it a blessing. Alright, let's proceed. We had Doctor Who there. Old Grave. Is this another good juicy one? This looks like it could be another hit. Oh, there we go, another one of those. Same-faced stooges. Reveler, cast your eyes away from me, for I had no power against the Witch King. They're all trying to do the same little routine. Like, he doesn't want to be upstaged by the other it girly. Yes, the Witch King, or as men call him, the Warlock Lord. His power was too great. Even Lord Jer failed to destroy him, but rather he was simply banished. But the Warlock Lord's power lived on through his deadly minions. Dude, I'm so sorry for these AI-like readings. I'm very bad at just processing what they're saying and actually giving intonation to it. Not the minions, though. Not the minions. I don't think this game is capable of producing the color yellow. When Lord Jer confronted these demons, not even the staff could stop it. That's the staff I want. Where is it? The staff that couldn't stop him. Yes, that's the one I want. Aided by the spirit of the Witch King, the demons struck out at him with insane fury. Lord Jer was driven back, the staff of thunder falling from his grasp. The staff may have been lost, but we could not afford to lose Lord Jer. I acted as a shield to protect him and was burned by the creature's hellfire. No, it looks alright. It looks the same as the rest of them. Okay, this looks like another winner. It's all the way in the back. It's gotta be a winner. It's gotta be a prize-winning fucking ghost right here. Watch me. What? It's the Duke! The Duke himself from Resident Evil Village. It's the Duke! A visitor. It's been so long since I've had someone to talk to. In the past, when people mentioned wealth, they thought of Aristole. I always had many friends about me. And many French as well. Oh, they were all eager to fall into favor with me. But that was when I was alive. In death, no one even looks my way. I am looking. I'm impressed by this unit. They divided up my fortune on the day of my death. All except for what I hid. The fools had no idea that they would not see my greatest wealth. I want to see it. Where is it? Not one visited my grave and not one will find my hidden treasure. But I know, I think, your servant was guarding it. Wait a second. Don't I have like a coin that the servant gave me? Guys, I'm gonna go and check back the facts. This was a beautiful little get together with Ramon Salazar here, or should I say Jamon Salazar? If you know, you know. Right, I'm heading back, and I'm also gonna check the archive, the DD Bro archives. Holy shit, I have to put up with my stupid, irritating shenanigans for that. God, that fucking sucks. Wait, no, I just turned up the sound. Guys, these videos, a little life hack, if they're annoying the shit out of you like they do out of me sometimes, like I annoy myself, just turn up the sound and you got a nice gaming video. That just moves a little slowly and suspiciously hangs very long on NPC dialogue. The more fucked up the NPC looks, the longer I linger on it usually, because I find I'm obsessed with like grotesque things, apparently. That's something I've learned from streaming. We were supposed to drain the reservoir, and I'm supposed to check the video for the servant in the sewers, right? Hold on. I had a little sneak peek. The servant that is guarding the treasure of our French guy down in the sewer, he is waiting for his master to come pick it up. Now, his master doesn't look very mobile to me, with peace and love. Let's see, where are we going? Who knows? Could be anything. Is this another cathedral door? Oh no. I'm just gonna assume this is the door to the park where we need to go to chant our little incantation. So I don't think that we can really give a sign of that the master is back to visit his servant and get the treasure from him. The treasures in this game are like, you don't actually use them other than to trade them in for something else you do need. Just like the invaluable coin we found, we just had to politely step out of the way and get robbed of that coin. We got robbed and then politely stepped out of the way so the guy could make it off with the coin, just so we could find the dirty slipper. We couldn't have had little Jenny over here just get a random dirty shoe. No, it had to be her shoe. And that cost us a fortune. Let us use this little cube. The one, but it can't be used here. But what about my incantation? I was not supposed to use it here? What did Grandpa say? Do I use it over there? The little silhouette of Zatkini? That's a statue in Rotterdam with the same posture, by the way. Got his heart torn out by German bombs. That's the kind of backdrop I grew up in. Yes, grim reminders of a dark past. I basically grew up in Shadowgate proper. Now, I don't know where to use the fucking cube. So apparently, we have the spell, we have the stone, but we need to go to a new area. Because the waterway that I expect is the water you drain. is not where you drain the water, which is amazing. And in fact, I think it's kind of a bit unnecessarily convoluted. I think I just need to go for it. Just follow doors. Not this one though. Is this a fake door? No, it's not. Supposedly you drain the water so you can press buttons to drain the water, and I guess we'll find out how it works. We're entering new territory here. Wait a second. I thought the stables where we are now is where that fucking massive hunchback lives. I do remember that nightmare of a man. That nightmare blunt rotation Quasimodo. He's very deadly, okay? He's basically the Mr. X of this game. Which, to be fair, is not saying much. Okay, so here's the courtyard. Evil dwarfs. Let's talk to them. I'm sure that will go down well. What do you have to say? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Again, I have the ring on. Let's unequip it. And now that we take off the ring, turns out we can actually properly interact with the dwarves, which means that they are gonna speak Scottish. Just give it a moment. There they are. You slip the ring off your finger, there you go. You surrounded Shadowgate, and outside the troops have encircled the castle. What about you? You surrounded Shadowgate, and outside the troops have... Right? At least he didn't blam at me. We've come full circle, and I haven't found the damn reservoir. Go back. Sorry. Sorry about that. Look at them. Good little garden gnomes. So do I maybe go through this door to go back? Did I even make any of the right decisions at any point? So those two doors just both go to the courtyard. Brilliant mapping on my part, I know. This was where the treasure hunter was doing his thing. I missed this door. Isn't it fun to have me hold your hand and we find out in real time where to go and where absolutely not to go? It just doesn't help that this guy doesn't know how to read a map. But this is another excavation area and we're gonna probably break our neck. If I don't save, if I do save, it won't happen, I'm sure. Look at that, the Tower of Low Poly Dragons. That's so majestic. The dragons! The dragons! Oh my god. How did this game not get its own MMO with creatures so majestic? Dude, there were MMOs like RuneScape that are equally low poly, so I don't actually... That was not even a proper diss. This game, unironically, should have been an MMO. Could have played as one of those dwarfs with the fuck faces. Okay, going underneath this. Is this what you would call a reservoir? More water. I could see this area on the map the whole time when I was in the sewers before. And now we have finally found the way in. Okay, so I had no idea. How was I supposed to know? Unless IGN is a legitimate source of information when you want to... I mean, this. But it was actually like part of the intended playthrough style. Okay, but there's a fish there. I cannot grab it. I'm gonna use the stone. And now we're gonna see some magic happen. You drop the magical stone of thirst and recite the incantation. Nomen Ra. Sorry, he's very slay. Ra. The halfling, okay? They're bottoms by nature. For the foolings. Yes, that's my lore. The big, tall, hunky foolings. Never mind. You know that? You know what? I don't want another essay from someone. It's like that. Who knows all the Shadowgate lore? So we're down here. And now we're looking for another way to lower even more water. Which again is very confusing. And the ghosts, none of the ghosts make it very clear. Only the ghost of IGN makes it clear what you're supposed to do. And I feel like a dirty little sneaky bastard for using it. Okay, I'm just gonna lower them all. Are you supposed to know? Is there a drawing that tells me how to do it, like right next to it? Is this one of those Draugr quote-unquote puzzles? Oh. Please don't let it be in a book. It's always something on the other side, isn't it? And I don't have friends on the other side. Please don't let it be a book that tells me how to access this. Alright, I'm just gonna turn some wheels like Isa. Isa, turn the wheel. Turn the wheel. Isa, I'm turning the wheel. I'm gonna turn them all so they are like facing upwards. Why? That looks best. If I was a crusty game designer without a sense of logic, that's what I would expect players to do. Unless I had even less logic and I expected them to just, you know, find a book somewhere that happens to have information on the controls here. Which I most certainly didn't. Now, I'm sure that IGN will explain this kindly to me because it's a very helpful ghost. It has a lot of dialogue options and it doesn't pad it too much with he, who, ye, that, and such and so, all who enter here. But I really want to find it out on my own. So I guess I'll see you next month when I have. Welcome back to the 4:3 ratio. I was wondering why the textures looked even more smudged and stretched out than normally. We're back in the Tower of Disciples, if it looks familiar to you. We've been here before, and we've been in front of these exact 3 copy-pasted doors before. Now when you think of magic, you might think of exciting, vibrant colors running the gamut from violet to octarine. You might think of sparkles, you might think of all kinds of flashy effects, but you get a very depressed Soviet era. I think it's more like a jail. But yeah, this is where the magic happened, and boy, did it leave very little for us to enjoy. Let me see. I learned last time I could crouch. I was like, what are we gonna do? Fucking crouch jump here? Well, guess again. That is not the main point. The main point is to hide little hints about puzzles far later into the game, completely out of sight. Look at that. Blurred pixels. For your blurred pixel needs, let's take the little note. I feel like I'm sucking it up. I don't use my hands. Either using telepathy or just poggers. Like I do power face and go inhale sharply, I believe is the term. Let's read the notes, because lo and behold, what is inside those notes? I haven't read them, but I have a very good idea because I read the IGN guide, or wherever it was. The lecture was very interesting. To control the blood levels. Now, if only I can remember the sequence. Right, right, left, left, right, right, or right, left, right. I'm gonna go with the last one. Wait, are they saying right as in like where the red dot on the wheel is pointing? Because I went back and looked at it. And I know there's a little red thing on there. Or turn it once, left and right. I mean, the latter would not make sense, right? It's good to get confusing if you try the combinations that way. Well, I'm gonna enjoy the beautiful sights of this magic academy that is just teeming with life and beautiful fantasy elements. I'll see you at the flip side. Okay, so I spied another something. It was actually a lot more visible than the crucial note, which is interesting. Maybe the note is not that crucial, you still have to fuck around. And how many combinations are there? Like 4 times 4 times 4 and all that. I saw this down here. Is that my own coin or another one? I think it's another one. Because this is a different dig site, right? We got 2 now. But I think they're just common. They're like the rupees. But they have a fixed amount. There's a fixed amount of them in the game. They don't respawn or anything. Okay. 1 detour later. I just realized these letters out of wood have been on the water for a long time. They should be way moldier than they are. Okay, we're back at Isa's battle station. I'm gonna turn the wheel. If you don't know who Isa is, he's a chameleon or lizard creature from Dora the Explorer. Just for context, I'm kind of used to just talking nonsense nowadays and not give a shit anymore. But I guess I should have clarified that for the stream at least. I'm sorry, I'm just a strange hermit. Which one is it? I do so wonder, instead of just him making the notes correctly, right? I'm gonna go with the last one. That sounds like something they would do, right? Oh, Isa was very close there. There we go. I'm just gonna go by where the red thing is pointing. And now, the ancient machinery appears to be missing something. We had something to make stuff work. We don't have something to make this work. So we're stuck on something yet again. Any ghosts around to help us? And then I'm gonna ask the ghost of IGN where this is, because I remember when I read like, how do I solve this? Turned out it's a lever. And I really thought we had a lever at some point to activate something before in the Wizard Tower. Specifically Lachmir's Tower. I mean, there's only the one wizard. Who is set to make another Slay Cunty cameo here, but apparently not now. So backtracking we go. It's getting really fun to have more way of the castle, so we can, let's call it exploring. Yeah, we can Dora the Explorer even more. Isa, you'll have your moment later. Isa is really getting depressed now. I hope she's hanging in there. And this wasn't her 13th reason, because it is for me. Oh my goodness. Let's get out of here. I'm out of here. Maybe I've just been rushing all this a bit too much. That's my mistake. I think we just need to take it easy and take in all the lush and beautiful sights. I'm gonna use the word again, sprawling set pieces. Look, this little quaint village. I haven't even set foot inside. Now why is that? Zach, why don't you just properly explore and talk to everyone? It's supposed to be one of those games where you naturally maybe find things. Because I am content brained, and I think we already had a lot of ugly NPCs earlier. We had the ghost at the end of the graveyard. We had the fat fucking ghost that looked like it is from the Monty Python restaurant scene. And I don't want to waste all the abominations on the same time frame. I don't want to have like one stream with all the abominations to spin on you guys and then not have anything interesting but gray smudged rock textures. And yes, maybe I should just be playing a game that is not 90% shitty textures and has more abominations. Like Pokemon Fusion, I guess. So, we're here, and we're queer. But don't tell this guy, he looks a bit, you know, like he's not accepting himself fully. He might be more homophobic as a result. I'm also gonna make a little save state. This is the gatekeeper's room, and this is the girl boss right here. Okay, this is the queen shit, and he is keeping something behind that we need. I haven't quite looked into what I'm supposed to do. I just looked into the chapters. And the entire bullshit with the lever and the next tower is after a completely different quest line that I skipped because, again, I'm trying to somewhat pen out the NPC jump scares. And I feel like we're eating good today already. Just like the fat ghost, like I said. Now, what are we supposed to do here? I'm as clueless as always. Let's read these places. Are probably gonna say the same thing, because look, they're all the same texture. A guard of 2 can hold any castle gate, right? There's only one though. Wait, was it? Hold the gates at all costs. Crazy how they wrote different words in the same font with the same letters. One dedicated in-server shall never leave his post. Okay, what are we gonna do? Create more toxic fumes? Or what? Maybe we should talk with him more. Maybe become friends with Daddy here. With the girl boss. You're not gonna... I know we've talked with him before though. What new and what good is gonna come of that this time? Having to unequip the Ring of the Dead is obnoxious. That's not a good gameplay mechanic. I want to be able to talk to the living and the dead. Because, let's face it, the difference is very limited. Except most of the ghosts have the same face for some reason. Or the same generally ambiguous metrosexual grandmother paw, right? I wish to know more of you, like especially how I get you to fuck out of the way. Sure, Dark Army. I can tell you what I know. Belzar was originally a disciple of the legendary sorcerer Lakmir. But he violated, like, I take any excuse to talk Scottish. Did I use it for the dwarves? I don't even know anymore. It's been 2 days. He violated Lakmir's teachings and dabbled in black magic. He was expelled. Belzar is older than he looks. And he already looks like a fucking old bald cunt. For the black magic he practices keeps him alive. Just recently he returned to Shadowgate, and I believe something is about to happen. Unless you're a hero like Voljair, I advise you not to go near him. You don't look like a legendary hero. Halfling. I want to play that flute. Stick the fucking pixie flute in his mouth, shrink him, and stump him out with his... Who is he to talk down to me? Bigger than me? Bigger than me? Yes, I want to know how... Again, you still haven't told me how to fuck the Ghost of the Lake, sure. The Ghost of the Lake, yeah, we've talked about that. Ghost of a little girl. It's a bard still and nothing more. Still haven't learned shit. I'm afraid this is the hunkiest it gets in this game outside of Dell himself. Dell Cottonwood. We'll only see him later when he's checking himself out in the mirror, I think. The treasure hunters. Yes. Treasure seekers dig. It's sad. One of them mutters day and night about coins. The other mutters of strange things as if they are possessed. I've only seen one treasure hunter. Belzar must be behind it. Any more hints? The fire in the stable. I did see the stable and it said don't start a fire here. Sorry for skipping that for you guys. There was a commotion at the stable. A fire broke out, but the cause is unknown. Because of the fire, the stable keeper is a bit on edge of late. He's even gone so far as to put signs up. Imagine that. That is so woke of him. I think he is that way because of that fermented feed he uses. Yeah, but that's for the horses, not for this. You know what? When in Shadowgate, eat the fermented feed, I guess. The troubadour. Are these supposed to all to be hints? He was in a sad shape. The troubadour was in a sad shape. He was singing songs of Magna the Red. Or the Rat. Now that would be quite the tale. He had apparently collapsed during his travels, and we took him in. He's been here ever since. I have no idea why he stays. What are you guarding? Perhaps he likes it here. Perhaps he's wanted by the king's royal guard. He says he's a famous bard, that he has sung before princes. Maybe so, but then again, I wouldn't count on it from one such as he. That little poof. Is that oh shit, is that against... You know what, this is on YouTube, never mind. YouTube doesn't have TOS. Do you wish to know something else? Oh my... Okay, this is gonna be the rest of the stream. He loves to yap. In this ruined fortress there's a strange man named Modor who runs an inn. The inn's name is the Rusty Sword. Okay. Black market traders seem to be his only pain. Rusty swords. Like, is that a metaphor for like an unwashed dick? Mulder is a grim man who seems to dislike and distrust everyone he meets. The only exception perhaps was that old woman. He seemed to treat her kindly. Jezebel, we got her. Mark, I mean, we robbed her, but maybe he will not take kindly to that. Maybe he won't understand it. She let go of that amulet. You'll see us, and you'll see us with the amulet that she was buried with, and you'll think we're a grave robber and try to kill us. She died some time ago, and since then, Mordor has grown more unbearable. If there's something you want to ask, come anytime. Now, none of this helped us. So I'm afraid we need to talk to more jump scares, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. I really don't know. We're gonna time travel. Okay, I think we can handle one more freak! Sorry about that. And it's gonna be the innkeeper here at the inn, the Rusty Sword. Because can't raise the expectations too high in this game where everything looks very neglected and ugly and depressing. Couldn't be a polished sword. No, it has to be rusty. Okay, I don't control this. Oh no. Oh yes, that's another winner. I'm glad I saved this one for last today. Let's see. You wish a room, traveler? Unfortunately, I've no empty rooms. Okay. You done with that animation? Alright. Done waving around your hands, bestie, with your limp wrists. I have a pass to say limp wrists. Now, that's... Wait a second. He cannot understand me when I put it on. He's gonna be like, oh, where are you from? Hell? Will you accept my coin? You cannot equip the coin, so no. The coin thing you just have to have in your inventory. He's gonna take me for a grave robber, and I should be lucky if he doesn't kill me inside. Should probably save this. Again with the automated panning. I don't like that, I don't want that. It reminds me of the death cam in The Sims 4, by the way. Except this feels like my death could happen anytime in real life! Because I keep mixing up realities. Just now, I was trying to eat fermented feed and I had to brush my teeth. That's why there was a jump in time. I don't know what I'm on about. I know that pendant. It's just like Jezebel's. Where did you get it? Did you steal that pendant from Jezebel's corpse? You are perhaps a grave robber? Nay. Nay, I say. Who say she entrusted it to you? You take me for a fool, little man. That's my real life voice dying, by the way. Jezebel died a long time ago. She looked pretty fine. How did they preserve her? She was not decayed, wasn't it? Long ago. I saw her buried with that pendant. She told you to give it to his soul? What you speak of is madness. Madness, I say. You do think me a fool? You can speak to that no more than I can. Test you? Alright. I'll play your game and prove you a liar. A liar? If you were asked to find Saul, you must know all kinds of things about him. Can you stop talking? So let's see if you can answer my question. Sorry, I'm gonna say my I don't need a fucking polyp! I know what's going on with Jabroni Mike. I've watched Jabroni's Mike stream and he's stopped streaming because he got a polyp. If you don't know who that is, I'll summarize him. Come! What's the name of Saul's friend? The answer is Lucas. What was Saul hoping to find? The answer is magical artifacts, because they wanted to find the... Really? Because there's no room here for you at my limp dick. The limp dick inn. Well, we fucked that one up. I still hate this though. This fucking gets me every time. Okay, oh, thank God he reset. Thank God for his potato brain. He just completely freezes when he's done talking. He just completely freezes. No. Okay, do you have other questions there? Don't you little man me. I will stuff the pixie flute up your ass, make you fart, and then I'll stump you. She told you to give it to Saul. Okay, madness, madness, madness. Let's go, Queen. Get back to the quiz. To the pop quiz. What's the name? The answer is, it's not Logan. Logan died in the suicide forest. What was Saul hoping to find? The answer is golden gems. Obviously, it's Saul. Was always after the money. How long after he left did the poor woman die? All of your answers are correct. I have to admit that I'm quite surprised. I am too, because the last one I didn't know. I do not pretend to understand how you know these things, but it matters not. The fact that you did not steal from the old woman is enough for me. I've plenty of vacant rooms here. Choose one, little man. He said no, he didn't have any. I'll need to pay me. Until I will be able to tell from this will be payment enough. For payment enough. Oh. Having appeased the unkempt innkeeper, you get your first good look at the inn. The place is deserted. You don't actually look around, except for the striking looking woman in the corner. Oh no. Your eyes meeting you feel quite strange. She seems to look into your very soul. We're gonna get panned again. Oh no. I thought that was gonna be the final jump scare. I thought this was gonna be the boss of it. But fuck me. I cannot handle this. He used the blink spell like a mage. Wow. I want to go back to WoW. I'm gonna go back to WoW. I'm not cut out for this. I try to venture outside of my comfort zone of grinding, repetitive, cheap, recycled gameplay. No more, I'm fine with that. I want recycled slop only now. Simpsons Fortnite, here I fucking come. What a nicely kept shop. No, that's not her speaking, that's me. Let's see if we can talk to Girlisha from this, well, enchanting angle. What's going on with her waist? She doesn't snatch that properly, does she? Let's see what her magical orange has to say. What she sees in there. Hello? That is not a shop, that's a woman, Del. I know that's not your thing, probably, but... There we go. Del, I knew you would come here. I also knew you would escape the dungeon. He stares right into your soul, right? But I wouldn't say that is due to her magic powers. That's just to her having really fucking creepy eyes. How? I'm a seeress. I can foresee such things, just as I foresaw your arrival here. In fact, I saw a vision of you long before you were captured. I spoke to the thieves days before your caravan entered this territory. You got me captured! A halfling, I told them. But not any halfling, one with valuable knowledge. You blame me? On the contrary, it's because of me that you still live. The thieves would have robbed your caravan and killed you in the process. They wouldn't have known I was coming without you, let's face it. So now I ask you to return the favor. Seek out my brother, Agar, and free him. He was captured. I fear he will not live through the night. She couldn't come up with a prophecy about him to save his ass? Please forgive me for involving you, but I have no choice. Will you help me? Apparently that's the quest line we're supposed to do. Thank you, Del. I knew you were more than a simple half-wit, a halfling. To get to the lower dungeon, you have to get past the room of the dungeon keeper. Be careful that he doesn't notice you. Perhaps you can come up with a distraction. When you find Agar, give him this orb. I will set fire to the stables. That's what I need to do, right? Or is that another distraction? When you find Agar, give him this orb. He will know what to do with it. It's good. It's full of nutriments. Fare thee well. Many fare thee wells to thee. The Sarah's hands you the magical orb. Are you done? Turn back. She's not gonna turn back to talk to the orb. Anything else? What about what distraction do you expect? You're my only hope. Help my brother. Alright. They try to kind of make her hot, but that it's not a Lara Croft, right? I mean, then again, Lara Croft started out pretty low poly, pointed. What's here? Can we read this, or is it just... No, not even Del is gonna bother with that. He's not gonna pretend to be able to read that. Okay, unless there's a ghost upstairs, I think we've been scared sufficiently. What does it say here? Come on. No. We can't read that. Alright, no. Now, I traditionally don't have good relationships with barkeeps in these games. In games, in general. Sometimes because the character has thrown their stuffed bird against the wall prior to the game's events. But let's see how this goes. Alright. Oh, it appears that all you've told me is the truth. Alright. And pose. Okay, he's back in his starting position. She's still turned. She's just too turned. Alright, let's see what's upstairs. Not a roof, for starters. They didn't have to make it this depressing, you know? But I guess they were at least consistent with this, let's call it an aesthetic. You found a travel guide, and I'm gonna read it as a bedtime story. What about the beds? Nothing suspicious. At least this has a roof. Is that a security camera? No, it's a lantern. I don't know why. I think it's because the flat faces remind me of GoldenEye. And you do blow up security cameras in that GoldenEye 64. I need to watch that again. Oh, yes, that looks like something I can nick. Maybe it's booze for the guard. It's not gonna be that simple, huh? Hasn't been cleaned in years. This cannot be a warm place. Also, he said plenty of rooms. There are two. Neither of them have a door. This is wide open to anything. Okay. To the elements. First and foremost. That is not the crawl button. Let me check out. There's anything hidden under a bed or table. Not falling for that shit again. Well, probably will. But the less I need to consult IGN, the better. They got my share of clicks over the years, over the last 500 decades that I've been around. Well, these notes better prove very valuable because there's a whole floor dedicated just to having these notes on a table. A good staff is very important for travelers. You can beat the brush as you walk, or use it as a defense against poisonous snakes and other deadly creatures. A stave can be made from branches or even twigs. I'm gonna craft. I'm gonna make our own little thing. What can we do with this? Can't be used. This all felt like, yeah, we got an extra quest out of this. But how are we gonna distract the guy? Because, you know, obviously I was gonna save the little wizard in the dungeon anyway. At least now I know that there's the dungeon behind the gatekeeper, right? And next time we're gonna find out who's behind this door. But, you know, like I said, the abominations are as good as it gets, so we're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna really have to pen it out. Otherwise we're just gonna meet Lakmir and Lakmir again and more Lakmir for the rest of the game. In between running around desolate, barren, stinky looking sewers and all that. So I'll leave it at this. We'll see what's behind this door next time. I think, wait a second. I think it's, it says here, the shop of Festus where serves this goal one. He's gotta be another asshole, no? I'll see you next time. And just dream away of living in this, again, this lush, sprawling fantasy world. Hope you enjoyed this. Take some antidepressants. Just a whole bottle. Don't be an amateur. See you next time. Ciao!